So I've always wanted to talk about the Korean education system. It's very well known that the education system is very, very stressful and it's often criticized for its almost dehumanizing competitiveness. So we know very well that the environment is harsh, but today I wanted to bring in a very different perspective. And if you're interested, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. By the way, my name's Sungjin. So the first thing I want to touch on is the PISA score, Program for International Student Assessment, PISA. It's a global program that takes around 600,000 15-year-old students from different countries, and it lasts for around 2 hours. And it gauges students' skills and knowledge mainly in science, reading, and mathematics. But it doesn't gauge memorization of facts, but rather demands that students draw on real-world problem-solving skills and knowledge. So, rank number 1, Singapore. Rank number 2, China. Rank number 3, Japan. Rank number 4, Taiwan. Rank number 5, Korea, Hong Kong, and so on. So, one thing I want to point out here is that despite all the criticisms, these countries actually excel in education, which means such a stressful training system has a reason. These countries have similar university admission systems, and all of my friends who are from those countries have similarly told me that it was extremely stressful. The high school period for us was not like experiencing a variety of leisure activities and fun prom parties like in high school drama, but was rather a continual, endless problem solving and academic training. So, sure, the national exam is called Suneung, and I completely understand how stressful the exam is because I've been through it myself, and the pressure and anxiety involved in are very real. But one thing I noticed in my high school was that there were some students who were hyper determined and who are ready to push through the stress, much like athletes during their training. So it's, on the one hand, the imposition of external pressure, but there's a willingness to take on that stress from the student side. And the reason was that it's the most fair evaluation they can have. At one point, they just wanted to do well on the exam because they know that their hard work will pay off since the test is designed to be impartial and objective. So that exam is the most standardized exam of all, in my opinion, and one of the reasons it is the fairest and most effective system we have for university admissions is because it's designed in a way that truly evaluates students based on sheer academic abilities and not on any background or financial resources. You might think, no way, rich kids are going to get private tutoring and will be better, but in reality, if you take any other alternative which purports to focus on the content of the character and potential, which requires extracurricular activities, personal essays, and interviews, then let's say rich kids are going to do horse riding, fencing, sailing, rowing, or cross-country volunteering, all of which requires more financial resources, which in turn is worse. So the reason students are willing to take on that exam, even though they know from first-hand experience how stressful it is because standardized testing has huge advantages. It is very clear and objective, and every student is tested under the same conditions. The scores are fed into computer systems to determine university admissions from the top down, so there are less negative consequences in the process, such as what affirmative action might bring in. It's really transparent, and subjective factors play the least role because studying is cheap, but activities often require a lot of money, and these expensive extracurriculars would benefit only those who can afford them, just like how wealthy families use their resources to secure spots at prestigious schools. Also, another point here is that the Korean admissions exam is tied to the national education system called EBS, Educational Broadcasting System, which, in my opinion, provides the best quality online education for free, even better than private tutors, because those teachers used to be the most popular tutors as well. More than 50% of the national exam questions come from the EBS textbook, so everyone has the same textbook and everyone gets to watch the same online lectures, and those will be the basis for the national exam. So yes, there are definitely downsides, but I think it's also very risky to move away from standardized exams. If a selective process is not adopted, then universities would have to take more students than they can actually manage, which will produce a high attrition rate in turn. And sure, too much pressure on education might not be as effective, but for example, to be competitive in the semiconductor industry, growing a bunch of academically oriented people wouldn't be too bad. And education as a key driver of social mobility isn't too unfair if evaluated properly. Anyway, I hope you liked this video and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Bye bye.